In this video, we will cover setting up a vehicle steering profile by entering the vehicle measurements and ECU orientation, and then completing the calibration process to allow the system to steer the vehicle accurately. It is critical that measurements and orientations be entered correctly and that the calibration is performed in order to achieve the best terrain compensation and pass-to-pass accuracy. Creating profiles also allows us to use the system on multiple machines without having to re-enter information and recalibrate every time we move the system between machines. To set up steering with the SteerCommand system, first press the wrench, then the GPS button. Make sure SteerCommand is selected from the drop-down, and press the wrench to open the Auto Steer menu. Press the Setup Wizard button to create a new vehicle. You are now asked some basic questions about the vehicle make and model. We are using the Ag Leader Academy Kubota shown here, so we'll enter it as a generic MFWD vehicle. The controller type is standard hydraulic since we are using an Ag Leader auto steer valve. After entering a name for your vehicle, you'll be asked for a series of measurements. It's important to get out and actually measure these distances, especially for operations that require high GPS accuracy. You will enter the distance between the front and rear axles, the antenna distance fore or aft from the rear axle, the antenna offset left-right from the vehicle center line, the antenna height from the ground, the ECU position fore or aft from the rear axle, the ECU offset left or right from the vehicle center line, the ECU height from the ground, and finally the ECU orientation. The last step before auto-calibration is to set the manual steering override. This determines how much force you must use to turn the steering wheel before auto steering disengages. This value can be adjusted later if necessary. Next, we'll step through all of the auto-calibrations. First is the compass calibration. You will need to drive slowly in a constant radius circle for about 2 minutes to complete this. Next is the heading. You just need to drive slowly in a straight line and press the next button when ready. The tilt zero measurements calibrate the terrain compensation sensors contained within the ECU. First, park your vehicle on level ground and press Start. It's helpful to mark the location of your wheels before proceeding to the next step. You'll need to turn the vehicle around and park in the same spot but facing in the opposite direction, as shown here. Then wait for the second set of measurements to count down. We'll skip over the last 3 calibrations for valve deadband, wheel angle sensor, and the steering valve. Each of these takes a few minutes of driving slowly while the vehicle steers itself. This should be done in a large open area because the calibration can be fairly erratic, as you can see in this photo. You can always pause the calibration to change the vehicle heading if you need to calibrate in a smaller area. Once the calibrations are complete, your vehicle will be saved and ready for use. Now you will be able to successfully complete the auto-calibration for a SteerCommand system. If you'd like to see more short tutorials from Ag Leader, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.